Hey, what's going on my fellow YouTubers? Dirty Fire here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Season 14 of Apex. Brand new drop of it, just happened on Tuesday. Of course, all the changes that have come with this new season and the brand new character they've introduced called Vantage. Let's dive in. First thing we're going to be talking about is the patch notes. There is a ton of them this season. As you can see, of course, new legend, Vantage, very interesting character. I've gone ahead and played a few games, loved her. Attack ability that echoed relocation, basically, sending out the bat, you're able to then go a distance to the bat, and of course you can actually do a double jump with it as well. Must be in line of sight, that's key. I was trapped in a doorway. I don't know if that was a glitch or something. Even though I could see her and I wasn't able to move, I got completely destroyed. Passive ability, Spotter's Lens, actually pretty cool. When you're aiming down your sights, just with no weapon, you can see, exactly, what character's in front of you. If it's on a character, it's going to show 3 different things: their team, what shields they have, what character you're actually on, and I'm going to show you this in game here in a moment. And then a bullet drop indicator, which was a little tricky to figure out how it worked. But once I did, very, very clutch. Ultimate ability, Sniper's Mask, it charges and you get, I think, 6 shots fully charged, and you're able to use those shots intermittently, so it doesn't have to be fully charged before you can use those shots. And then you get a damage buff that comes with it. So I shoot a guy, it does 50 damage. I hit him again, it does more damage. If I hit him with a headshot, it's going to do more damage as well. And then your team actually can see the mark and utilize that to their advantage. If I hit the guy with that sniper bullet, it gives extra damage, so they can also take advantage of this ability and completely just decimate 1, 2, 3 people. Depends on how good your person playing Vantage is. There was a interesting battle pass changes. In-game level cap increase, so now you're able to grind even more, get more Apex packs, hopefully getting that heirloom, which is I've been playing since the start of this game, still haven't gotten an heirloom. We'll see if with these new additional tiers and levels I'm able to actually get one. No idea. They did a complete rework to Kings Canyon. I thought the map was beautiful, finally coming. The devs are coming in and they changed the color scheme to the map. That was a huge issue, I felt, 2 seasons ago. So in season 12, when we were playing Kings Canyon and they brought it back, they had done map changes but not actual color changes. So it was still the same dark drab colors whenever it first dropped, which I hated. I love the new color schemes to Olympus and Storm Point. Very vivid, easy to see people that are around you, and that's something they brought to Kings Canyon this season, which in my first video that I'll be dropping, you'll actually hear me talking about how much I appreciate it. Also on this website, it's showing Season 13 rank results. So for Split 1, we have the following max tier distribution among players who played for more than 10 hours. So essentially, anyone who played rank for more than 10 hours, it's showing a breakdown of what levels they've reached, and then also of Split 2, what levels they've reached. And as you can see, majority are stuck in gold and platinum, and then the few that are making it beyond to diamond and masters and predator, you can see that as well, the results. I thought it was very interesting, the new rank system they have. It's kind of showing a little bit more of grit of players. So essentially what I mean by that is who's good, who isn't, and you can't necessarily rat all your way through to get to master rank or diamond rank or apex predator. You're needing to get more kills, you're needing to be more active in the game, you're needing to have a better team, be a better player. So let's go ahead and dive into Vantage. I'm going to pull up my game real quick and show you what I was talking about. So essentially, as you can see right here, this is the new character. On the bottom, you can see her bat, and of course her ult. So let's go ahead and do her bat real quick. This is actually pretty cool. So you can send it out and move it to wherever you want. It can be there stationary as you're moving around, and as long as it's in line of sight, you can go ahead and use the ability, go to the ability, and once you get there, if you do a jump again, it'll actually allow you to almost like a little bit of a double jump at the end. And then what I was talking about with her passive, so if I'm looking at a character like this, I'm seeing right up here on the top of the screen, you're seeing that it says dummy, how many meters it'll weigh, exactly where my bullet is going to hit once I have a weapon equipped with the proper scope. This is just without anything. So this is just normal zooming in. If I get a weapon with a scope, so let's say for instance, I'm getting a 3 times, now you're starting to see, where the bullet's gonna drop. And it's actually kind of tricky to see where that bullet's gonna drop. So if I'm zooming in, if you're looking at my reticle, right in the center, there's a little circle around it. That's actually where the bullet's going to land. And as I get further away, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Man, I love that ability. It's so cool. And so I'm able to see bullet drop is now a little beneath the center of that reticle. And as I get further and further away, you'll notice now that it's just a teeny bit beneath. So I'm not actually aiming at where the middle of my reticle is. I'm aiming at that little bit of circle beneath it. And then you're always going to get, a hit from aiming there. Now the sniper rifle, or her ult, I'm zooming in. You can see it a lot clearer now. Right here, I'm seeing that it's a 3 times scope at 93 meters. I can actually zoom into an 8 times scope and hit the target. So when I hit a target, it's 50, 75 for a headshot. If I hit him again, it's 100. If I hit him again with a headshot, it's 150. And I don't think it stacks any more than that. But if you have players that are good and also using ranged weapons, you can quickly just eviscerate anyone from long range, especially if they don't know you're there or if you're timing your shots with your team. That really helps. I mean, I have my squad, I have a player on there, Flip Ranger. He likes to snipe as well with the bow. We were just getting pretty much instant knocks as soon as I tag someone with this ult, and then he hit him with the bow. I mean, they're going down very, very fast. One thing that I noticed, and I don't know if this is a necessary, I don't know if the devs meant to do this, but if you're looking at the reticle as it is right now, you notice like a slight blue ring around it. No other character has that. So if I go in, I notice that this with shotguns and SMGs, and actually with any hipfire weapon, I mean, it is ridiculous. If you keep your reticle centered, you can use this little blue reticle on the screen. It helps even more. So if I'm switching to a different legend, so it can be any legend, so I'm gonna pick Bang, and now I'm gonna look at basically center shot again. If I'm, okay, let me pick up an SMG to show you what I'm talking about. Picking up the car again, as you can see, no blue reticle, and that's pretty much constant for every other character. So if I'm switching back to Vantage, I'm seeing a little blue reticle now. And I gotta tell you, it is pretty OP. I mean, let's say you have the RE45 and these new laser sight attachments, which are killer. I mean, it's ridiculous how accurate this is going to be, hip firing. And this is the RE45. Imagine what it's like with the car, with an R99. Here, bring out the R99 and just absolutely destroying, not even really having to aim. I mean, pretty good distance as well. I mean, all the way back from here, able to just use that blue reticle to destroy the target. Anyways, let's go back to the patch notes real quick. So I'm going to switch screens. Going in here. So rank changes have happened. Entry cost +5 to all. There's been some changes to kill RP and rank reset, as you can see. Like I was talking about just a second ago, those laser sights, very fun to use. Especially with that new character Vantage, with that little circle she has in the center. Super easy then to just destroy an opponent. I'm loving the crate rotation. I felt like the last few seasons I was getting annoyed that there were kind of forcing me to use guns over and over and over again. I'm glad there's more guns on the floor. I love that the G7 has returned. I love that the Volt's back. I'm okay with the bow check going in and the Rampage. I personally dislike the Rampage. I haven't been a fan of it. And the bow check in the crate is a good choice. Crafting rotation, Wingman returns to the floor. Love that. And one of the games that's coming up, I'm actually using it. I like that they put it with sniper ammo now. A very interesting twist, allowing you not to stack so many bullets. So, there are pro players, content creators, even just normal pub players talking about how annoying it is to have someone have, just a whole team of wingmans, and every one of them has, stacked of 60 heavy ammo, and from there, everyone's just constantly spamming, shoot, and eventually they're going to hit you, and if they hit you, back then it's 45 damage. 3 of them hit you by coincidence, you're going to get destroyed. Car is returning to the floor. Very happy about that. Love that weapon. Devotion LMG enters the crafter. I'm fine with that. I don't really play with the Devotion. I don't see a lot of people playing with the Devotion. RE45 plus hammer point combo enters the crafter. That's actually pretty sick. If you're taking advantage of that, especially early game, and getting into that crafter and getting the RE45 with hammer points, that's a lot of easy first kills before second ring's hitting. Gold weapon rotation has been changed as well. You got the longbow, G7, Mozambique, R99, and Hemlock. Some changes to the weapons. SMGs are getting a hip fire spread increase. With that new laser pointer, it works pretty good. Assault rifles also getting a base hip fire spread increase. EVA 8 for a couple seasons now has just been trash. I mean, everyone knows it. EVA 8 now, playing with it, that might be the new meta. I'm seeing a lot of people playing. We're going to get into the character changes here in a second, but Mad Maggie, EVA 8, and it is an unstoppable combination. So as you can see here, they've done a bunch of changes to it. Recoil improvements. Now it has a stock. They removed a pellet blast. Fire rates increase. Pellet damage increase. Fire rate increase. Basically increase. Buff the shit out of this guy. The bow check has changed a teeny bit, and it should have, because it's gone into the care package. And Rampage damage increase. Don't think it really needed it. That gun, if you pick it up out of the care package, is unstoppable with the thermite. So the rate of fire, I feel, was increased to what it was with the thermite, and now with the thermite, it's very hard hitting. I mean, you're going to see what I'm talking about when you're playing with it in game. The Volt SMG, damage reduced. I don't really notice much of a damage reduction. The gun still, time and time again, is a surefire way to just destroy someone. And now that it has a laser pointer, attachment, the hip fire spread is awesome. Car SMG, no longer taking barrel attachments. I don't really notice a difference, especially if you're utilizing the in-game things that Apex has had forever. So, if you're moving back and forth and moving your reticle on someone slowly, it's going to take away recoil. That's been around for ages. G7 Scout, as you can see, damage reduced 34 from 36. Headshot multiplier reduced. Even with these reductions, the gun is still super powerful. I've used it. I'm loving having it back on the floor. L-Star, there's a few changes to it. I don't really use the weapon that much. I don't see a lot of people using that weapon that much. So, to be fair, I don't really notice much of a change with it, even with the increased projectile speed, number of shots. I guess the biggest advantage now is that bright red flash not being there when you hit non-armored targets. RE45 feels fantastic. You just saw me using it a second ago. The increased iron sight FOV and the strafe speed being increased to be consistent with the other pistols, I think, is a big advantage now. Wingman, I was talking about a little earlier, with the sniper ammo and the magazines, I feel is a good addition. And I gave you that reason earlier. Please, by all means, if you have a different viewpoint, leave a comment. Let's talk about it. Sniper ammo, with the Wingman change, of course, that's going to be changing as well. So instead of a stack of 24, we got a stack of 28. And ammo boxes now being 14 instead of 12. that's a pretty good addition. I don't mind that. In game, I don't notice too much of a difference. Spitfire going to the light side now. That was a Star Wars reference, haha. But the recoil adjustments that it's saying that it has, and the vertical barrel climb, I mean, I think some people were thinking it was going to be insane. I think it, if anything, shoots more accurately now, oddly enough, with this increased vertical barrel climb. But I'm not noticing a lot of the barrel climb because I'm on PC. So console players, if you're noticing a vertical barrel climb, comment, let me know. Spitfire now using light ammo. I like that they finally have a LMG in the light category. I think it was needed. Heavy weapons were just out of hand. So many heavy weapons. Now a little bit more diversity, much needed. Thank you, devs. 3030 repeater. This is actually a really cool and interesting thing that's happened to it. The dual loader has now been worked into the base. So if you're reloading it, instead of it going click, 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 you know, over and over again, you're feeling like it's taking forever to reload. That thing's reloading super fast. So 2 bullets of reload, you're basically reloading twice as fast. And now that it has the skull piercer rifling, that and the wingman, it's a destroyer. It's a very strong weapon. Mastiff, base fire reduced a teeny bit, and the dual loader removed, which is a bummer, but still a very powerful weapon in the care package. Sentinel has got Deadeye tempo worked in, and these changes that the devs are doing with some of the hop-ups that were out on the ground and now putting it into the base weapon, I think that's a good thing that's happened. I like that I'm not having to search constantly for 1,000 different hop-ups for a weapon, that some of these guns actually have now worked into the gun a hop-up. So, you know, leave a comment if you think that's something differently, but I, for one, think that's a positive change. As we're going through here, it's just showing, you know, the double tab, it's what it's added to, the EVA and the G7 again. Skull Piercer, showing the increases to Longbow, Wingman, and 3030 repeater. And then what's been removed to the floor has obviously been added to the weapons. So like Shatter Caps not being on the floor, it's added to the bow in the care package. Deadeye's Tempo's off the floor, but it's now added into the Sentinel. Boosted Loader being not a legendary, but an epic. It was going to happen. You know, Skull Piercer's back on the ground. They had to take it off, but they've still kept it on the ground, which I like. Backpack Gold Perk. So this is a huge change that people wanted, that the devs did, and this is really going to change, I think, a lot of people who are relying on that gold knockdown shield perk. This is going to change the way they play because it's no longer there. You can't have it. What they did was they took what was originally the backpack gold perk and put it on the knockdown perk, if I'm reading that correctly. And essentially what that means is you have the knockdown shield perk. If you have the knockdown gold knockdown shield, what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to revive your teammates with that Guardian Angel perk, essentially, you know, giving them more health, more shields. And now the backpack perk, which is interesting, and I have gotten the gold pack back in one of the games. It's got a new perk now called Deep Pockets. So you're essentially going to get more batteries, more med kits, and more Phoenix hits. I love that, you know, because you're able to stack more meds. It's more clutch end game. I'm appreciative of that, and I like the fact that there is going to be some kid crawling around potentially getting back up after I've already downed him, and, you know, getting his other, especially with the lifeline, or he had the gold backpack as well, and he revived himself, and now he's almost max health again. That was annoying. Great job, devs, for taking that out. Let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about that. Arcstar, this is a big change as well. I've seen some people already talking about it online. A lot of content creators and pro players just talking about the reduced stick damage, how they like that, and also that they removed the aim slow on the stick. I like that as well. Detonation damage increased. It needed to be so. I mean, if you're going to take some things away, you're going to need to increase the damage. That makes sense. I like the change. I've stuck a few people and been stuck myself, of course, so I appreciate that change. Explosive holds, added blue attachments to possible spawns, added laser sights to pools, reduced spawn rate of gold magazines. It's just more changes that are happening. And then here, we're getting into the gritty here. So Legends, Valk. Let's see what they did here. So VTOL jets, We're seeing an acceleration, activation decreased by 8, fuel consumption increased to 33, aerial boosting and strafing taking a buff. Taking a nerf, 20% debuff when hit by slowing effects, and then added a third orange state. Oh, okay, I see. So basically you're seeing more of where your meter's at in a color scheme. So that's a lot easier to understand. Missile Swarm, looks like they took the aim turn slow, removed it. Slow duration. The move slow duration is now decreased, and the reducing explosion radius. Oh, I'm sorry, they are reducing the explosion radius, which I think needed to happen. This character is already very powerful by herself, in good hands and on a good squad, just devastating, with being able to move with her jetpack and her missile swarm. I feel like was always hitting me no matter even if I was out of it as well. I've noticed in this season not getting hit as much, being able to get out of there before being hit and slowed. And then also the skyward dive, this needed to happen. So height reduction 25%, launch time being reduced, coupled with the height reduction, so you're going up at a slightly slower speed. People were just taking advantage, especially end game, of going high, circling around forever. You can't shoot them. That needed to be changed. That's another positive thing I feel has happened in this season 14. Some other things happening with the rest of the characters. Horizon. This is actually, I've tested this in game, the black hole adjustment to Newt's hitbox, making it more reliable. It is. It feels like I can shoot it anywhere on it now, and it's going to destroy it. Also, I haven't been able to test this, but I'm assuming this is going to be a positive change as well. Newt taking 50% more damage from explosives, so meaning if they're spamming grenades, obviously you're going to die, but if your team is trying to help take out Newt and throwing, a grenade or so on and so forth, potentially that's going to destroy that ult a lot faster. Only thing I'm seeing with Watson is improvement to perimeter security placement system. Newcastle, this is another big talker right here. So Newcastle, meta for a while now with shielded character has obviously been Jibby, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second. I felt he's just been overpowered, but Newcastle first. So Newcastle got a massive buff. Interesting character that came out last season. Cool abilities, but still wasn't getting a high pick rate. So with this buff, what you're seeing now is the Retrieve of the Wounded. You're getting a faster movement speed while reviving. You're getting a reduced turn slow while reviving as well, so you can move faster, you can look faster. You're getting increased white and blue knockdown shield health. I think that's crucial as well. And then the mobile shield is getting a higher HP. Base was 350, now 500, and now double max speed movement. And that max speed movement is fast now. I mean, if you're pinging that thing, it is moving. So it's making it a ton more viable in game, making him just a stronger character. And then the castle wall, this is interesting. Added turn slow to electrical barrier effects and increase the severity of the slow effect to movement. So meaning when he's first going into his ult, you're going to see an electrical perimeter around that fortress. And if you're hitting it, it's going to not only, hurt you a little bit, but now you're going to be slowed even more. So I appreciate that. I think that's a good thing that's happened. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. So back to what I was talking about with Jibby. So the main reason Jibby is going to be hurting this season is because of this Mad Maggie buff that's going on. So right here, projectile launch speed is doubled for a riot trail, so her attack. Wrecking Ball now, so this is a game changer for people who are using that Jibby shield, and God, that was annoying. And then of course he's already got the faster revive in the shield, and with his arm shield, you got a shield cell going on, it's back up. Very, very annoying. Now with her ult, you can destroy the dome, and you can destroy a lot more with it. But here, Wrecking Ball damage will deal damage to enemy placeable objects, so Black Market, Castle Walls, Exhibit, Death Totem, messed that up. Mobile Shield, Black Hole, Amp Cover, Gas Barrels, and will also destroy Gibraltar's Dome of Protection. Just a huge thing the devs have done, because so many people complaining about Jibby, myself included. I'm glad. I'm tired of that character. I think he's got way too much health, and I'm glad for the change. But now with the Eva, like I was saying before, Mad Maggie and the Eva seem to be the meta, because she has the faster movement with shotguns. So I'm excited about this. I've seen it in game. I like it. I'm not even seeing Gibraltar anymore as a pick. A lot more now is going Mad Maggie, and I'm seeing a lot more Newcastle now. So I'm excited about changes. Tired of the same characters always being picked. I'm sure you guys are as well. And Rampart. So only thing from her is now ignores friendly collision on amp cover placement. That was a little bit of annoying, so this is a nice change as well. Caustic, we're seeing that they fixed a gas ramping bug when transitioning from friendly to enemy gas would initially damage far more intended. So, okay, nice change there as well. Mirage, interesting thing they did here. So the decoys can now be scanned by Valk when skydiving. I think that was needed. Mirage decoys can now be picked up by Seer's Heartseeker, needed as well, and fixed a bug where Mirage decoys were picked up by Seer's Exhibit as AI and not players. Okay, all three good fixes in my opinion. Let me know if you think differently. Revenant, this I've actually played with quite a few Revenant players who loved this change. So the Death Totem will now show a placement preview when activated instead of just being there. I, for one, think that's an excellent choice they did. Most of the Revenant players I've come across have loved that change as well. And we're just going to quickly go through this. I know I've been talking a lot. I just wanted to bring up those points for the, for the other patch updates because I thought they were important to talk about. And I know the community has been talking about it for a while. So crafting update, we're just going to skim through a lot of these team use harvesters. Actually, before we skim through it, I do want to say that is something I enjoy in Season 14 as well, is the team use harvesters. Meaning if someone goes to a resource and picks it up, it's applied to the rest of the team. That I think was needed in day one whenever they dropped the replicator. Now it's in this season, really enjoying it. I'm sorry, now from here I'm just going to kind of go through it quickly. So shadow rounds have been removed from crafting, hammer points have been removed from base crafting, heavy energy and sniper mags, price increased 35 to 25, laser sights added to the crafting materials, stock and barrel price reduced 25 from 35. They've added a skull piercer hop to crafting, they've added double tap trigger to crafting, kinetic feeder to crafting, shotgun, they've increased the shotgun bolt price from 25 to 30 and reduced the 2x4 ACOG optic price from 30 to 35. So all these changes obviously are happening because they've added in different hop-ups. Different hop-ups are being applied to weapons that are now back on the floor. It makes sense why these changes are happening. The maps, rotating from public maps, are going to be as followed: Kings Canyon, World's Edge, and Storm Point, and those are going to be in a trip rotation, at least as of now. I would have liked to have seen Olympus come back, or stay, I should say, rather than Storm Point, but I can see why they're pushing their newer map. I just love Olympus, so I'd rather have that in rotation. All Battle Royale maps, replicators and crafting materials have been rebalanced. The ring adjustment, this is actually a big thing as well. For people who don't know about it, Ring 1 is going to hurt about as much as Ring 2 did. This is an important change because you're going to take more damage, and for players that are used to staying in the ring and then kind of, a lot of people use this term, I'm going to use it as well, ratting in the ring, and then slowly making sure they're not going to be shot, moving building to building, still having a ton of heals, and being able to get to that ring too. That's annoying as fuck. So this is a good change. Also, the time that Ring 1 is out has significantly decreased. So 180 seconds to 60 seconds. That means as soon as you land, you have a minute before Ring 1 is going to close, and it's going to hurt more. That is a change that's needed. That's bringing teams closer together. That's making the game more fun, in my opinion, meaning that you're going to come across more players. I know in Storm Point, an issue when it first dropped is the map is massive, and depending on where you land, if it isn't a hotspot, you could go 5-7 minutes running around and never seeing anyone. So now it's going to bring people closer together. It's going to make you engage more in fights, potentially, depending on your playstyle. I like that change. Let me know in the comments on what you think. World's Edge. This is, let's see what they've done here. So they removed some frustrating final rings at staging. That's good because some of those final rings were weird. Fragment East loot buff from low tier to medium. Okay. And added OOB to West Rocks and Lava Siphon. Okay, so they've done some small changes there. quality of life, what we're looking at here, they have a new map mode name UI element on the load screen and start flow. Winning and champion tags have been added to the scoreboard. They've added ability use to tap interact prompts. They've added flourish to crafting materials on the top of the HUD. They've added a flourish to items. You can craftable when crafting in the crafting station. They've added accessibility switch for turning on and off TTS, so text to speech. And then when dropping from the dropship, the location of the POI player lands in is now displayed. Okay. This is actually a big thing as well, and one thing I wanted to bring up, the patch note bug fixes. So Season 13 to me, while it was fun, felt had a lot of issues. A lot of players felt it had a lot of issues as well. Season 14, even on the drop date, there was an issue that Respawn came out and talked about immediately on their Twitter. They were talking about how the problem was basically you would install the new update, and then I have Origin, it's happening on Steam as well. It would just continue to re-verify the files over and over and over and over again. Like, what the fuck is going on? So there was immediate tweet that came out from Respawn saying they knew about this issue, they're going to fix the issue. Obviously, there were a bunch of people already trying different ways to get around it. I found someone online who was talking about just uninstalling Origin or Steam and then reinstalling, so meaning the actual platform, uninstalling that and reinstalling it, not the game, and then from there it worked for me and I was able to get back into the menu. But just kind of little odd quirks here and there, especially just trying to load into the game after you've just done an update. You're very excited, and then you have this fucking bug. It's like, oh my god, I'm going to lose my mind. They did a whole bunch. I'm gonna leave a link to this site here, so you can go ahead and read through the rest of the patch notes and bug fixes. There's a lot of them, so by all means go ahead and go through and see what you think on that. But I feel that this season, at least in-game, has felt a bit smoother than Season 13. I'm appreciative of that. Besides that, I mean, I'm very excited for this season. We're going to see where it goes, and I'm going to post something else, an update, probably in end of Split 1, start of Split 2, and kind of do an update of what I think of the season and where things are. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Please, by all means, leave some comments. We've talked about a lot of big changes that happened this season, and have a great day.